This video is the first in the series of role-based access with data filtering in operational intelligence, and I'm your guest speaker, John Sullivan. Today, role-based access is centered around users that we prefer to manage through SAML groups and feature access control that we prefer to manage through either custom roles or out-of-the-box roles. The out-of-the-box roles that come with operational intelligence today are tenant administrator, power user, and user. These are the same roles that you'll find in APM. Additionally, we have a fourth role called the security admin user, and this role is used to manage the roles, users, and groups in the security space. There's also the capabilities around token management, and we have the ability to do user-defined tokens for API access to operational intelligence and the data stores behind operational intelligence. Digging into database filtering with RBAC, we have a few ground rules to set here. First, with roles, it's designed to limit the access to the products, the APIs, and the features. So this really says what a user can do. Universes, on the other hand, is a separate concept that's used to limit access to the data. It defines what a user can access, specifically what data the user can access. Both of these are assigned separately through SAML groups or basic authentication assignments. Data filtering. What we can do with data filtering is we can limit the data that a user can see in alarm analytics, service analytics, dashboards, or in any of the other components for consumption UI within operational intelligence, where we want to prevent users from seeing data beyond the scope that you've provided to them. Finally, there are some other key items to keep in mind. Custom roles are only available in operational intelligence. Upon upgrade of the SaaS environment to 22.8, all existing roles are given all data access privilege as part of their role. And this is that so you don't have a backwards or loss of functionality experience when this data filtering capability is made available to you. The all access privilege or the all data access privilege can be removed from a role by the tenant administrator in the role administration UI. Only users with the privileged access to a feature to perform administrative functions and the all data access feature can perform the administration functions associated to it. So an example would be creating new services or adding new policies or adding new notification channels. These are considered administration functions, and these functions are considered at a tenant level, and for that reason, you need the all data access feature. This sets the groundwork for what you need to know for data filtering and RBAC with operational intelligence for the first part of our series. Let's now jump into, in the second video, a demonstration about how role-based access works with data filtering in operational intelligence. Welcome back to role-based access with data filtering for operational intelligence. I'm your guest speaker again, John Sullivan, and in this video, we're going to talk about how to set up a universe and to perform data filtering in your operational intelligence configuration. Let's get to it and jump over to our operational intelligence environment that we're going to take the demo from today. When you come into operational intelligence into DXSaaS, you are presented a page such as this that shows you the products that you have access to. In here, you also have on the left-hand side of the page a settings configuration. These are your platform settings, channels, and alarm policy configurations. At the top of this, we can see the users and configure the users that can access your environment. We can configure the roles and the capabilities and the privileges that users have within this environment. Today, we'll be focusing on a specific role, our demo role seen here. If we take a look at the demo role has access to nearly everything. They can perform administration functions, and importantly here, This user also has the universe management capability to be able to see all data access. As we mentioned before in the prior video, this privilege is used by administrators so they can administer services, add policies, add other notification items or other administration functions related to operational intelligence. This is necessary because we view those capabilities as a tenant level capability. And we'll get into a little bit more detail why services and service configuration specifically will also require this capability. All roles within operational intelligence will be provided that capability on upgrade with the latest SaaS version, and it can be removed by the tenant administrator or your administrator if you want to limit the data access that a user has. Finally, universes. Let's come in here and configure a new universe for my user and that role. So the universe that we'll use today, we'll give it a name. So we'll call it Demo Universe 1. And this is a demo for configuring a universe / data or data filter. I will assign users to this universe. So I will be providing them access to this data filter. So when they navigate through the product, they can apply this filter to that view that they're working with, and they will see only the items within it. For this, I will assign it to John Sullivan, my user. And this user, I'll allow this user to also manage this universe and allow what goes in it. At this point, it's pretty basic. We've defined what the name of our universe and either the basic auth users or the SAML administrator users that can access, or the SAML groups that can access this universe. To define the data that the user can access here, we use services as the filter, as the lens to select the data that goes within the universe. And this is an operational intelligence service. And so here, let's take a look at the services that I have available. I've landed into the services overview page for operational intelligence, and I can see I have 169 possible services, but I actually want to limit John Sullivan to the Automation Boston All service. Notice that the Automation Boston All service has only 4 services underneath it. Let's come back and let's add that service to the definition for the Demo Universe 1. Automation Boston All is the universe that we're interested in. We've selected it. We're going to save that, and we can add other services to this if necessary. We can also exclude services through a one of or none of configuration. I'll then go ahead and create this universe, so Demo Universe 1, and we have created our first universe, and our first universe with the scoping of Automation Boston All. At this point, I'm going to log out of my current user, and I'm going to log in So we can see that my user has two universes that they have access to. So we have the inactive Demo Universe 1, and I have the All Access universe here. My user can manage this universe as we described before, and we can see that there's only one user currently assigned to it. Now, when we go into, because we have the all access capability here, when we go into operational intelligence, we can see I have the all access universe here. And as the other universe, the demo universe, has not been activated, it is not shown in my list, but you can see this is the only universe I have access to, and it provides me all data. It also allows me access to being able to manage the different capabilities that I've been provided access to. Let's go back and let's log out again, and let's remove the all access capability. Logging back in as tenant administrator. I'm going to do two activities here. I'm going to activate Demo Universe 1, so it's now active. I'm also going to come out here and I'm going to manage the role demo role. I'm going to edit this, and we're going to remove the most of the feature access for this role. I'm going to give them basic access to view services, to be able to view alarms, perform alarm actions, to perform annotations, filtering, insights, and situations. I'm going to also provide access to DX dashboards, and I'm going to remove and make sure that this user doesn't have the universe access here for the all data access. As you saw before, when we had that, we could see all of the data within operational intelligence. Okay, we're going to save this. And we'll log back out again. And I'll log back in as my user. I've restricted access here, right? So I have fewer capabilities already off the bat here. And as we come in here, we can see that the only universe I have access to now is Demo Universe 1, and that the only services I have access to are Automation Boston. Additionally, notice that I have access to the alarms and the metrics behind this. So if we drill down on the alarms, we can see the alarms only for this service. We cannot see any of the other ones. If I navigate through the product, I only have the data associated to my service, right? The Automation Boston All service. The other thing to notice here is that we only selected the parent in the hierarchy for the service, and we retained all of the children, and we retained all of the children's data. And so now we have a customized role for my users that require this specific level of access. And I'm limited to only being able to see the automation Boston All through this universe configuration. As I navigate out to dashboards, we can also see that the universe context is also available out here within the dashboard context as a filter on the dashboard. The items to note here is that this is only going to show for custom roles, not for out-of-the-box roles. So my user has a specific custom role that I have defined and isn't inheriting its privileges directly from tenant administrator or power user or user. With this segmentation now, this user now has the ability to have their views for their dashboards filtered by universe. All right. This was an excellent demo. You now get an idea of how we have applied the data filtering consistently through services across the platform, limiting both the access to data in alarms, metrics, services, and even dashboards. I'm John. Welcome back. This is the third part of our series on operational intelligence, role-based access with data filtering. This is the second demo in the series, and I'm referring to it as the multiverse. This is where we have a user interacting with operational intelligence and dashboards using multiple universes that have been provided to him or defined for him from his administrator. I am also the administrator, and I will be your guide today. My name is John Sullivan. Let's take a look at operational intelligence and how to configure multiple universes and provision it to a single user. Heading over to settings, select universes. I have many universes defined here. We have been working with Demo Universe 1. In Demo Universe 1, I have John Sullivan, and he is the only one in this universe, and he can access the Automation Boston component. We take a look at Automation Boston, we can see the service hierarchy, and we see 4 results here as the number of services that come with the Demo Universe 1. Let's also give John access to the Customer Demo Universe. And so to do this, edit Customer Demo Universe. We can see Jeff and Shivangi are already in this universe enjoying themselves, and we are going to add in the additional, we're going to add in John Sullivan at Broadcom.com, and we are not going to give John the ability to manage this universe. Remember, I'm logged in as a tenant administrator, so I have full access here. We can see that this universe also has access or provides data for 4 services. Recall, a service acts as a filter on all data within operational intelligence. This includes your alarms, your metrics, and your vertices. We will add John to the universe, and then let's log out. I will log out, and I'll log back in as John. And when I log back in as John, we'll be able to see that I only have access to 2 universes. I can only manage the Demo Universe 1 because I was not provided access to the Customer Demo Universe. And if we head over to Operational Intelligence, we can get an experience of what it's like to have multiple universes, not full data access, and be able to navigate through the product with different filters. As I come in, the last universe that I have selected will be my first universe selected into the landing page, and so it has selected the Demo Universe 1 as this was my last selection. I can see in the drop-down that I also have access to Customer Demo. In the Demo Universe 1, I see I have Automation Boston. I see it has several thousand alarms, and it also has service level indicators, or it has an availability configuration associated with it. I can switch universes and look at the Customer Demo Universe. In the Customer Demo Universe, I can see they are all very happy and healthy with no open alarms. But again, I see the 4 services, 4 different services in this configuration. The data is completely separate from each other. We're able to look at them independently. We're able to control what user has access to what data using universes. Let's continue navigating through the product and see what the experience is like when we look at alarms. When I look at alarms with the Customer Demo, I can access the different queues that have been saved, and the queues operate over the data, the data being filtered by the universe. If I select the demo universe 1, which we know has thousands of alarms, we can see those alarms. We can interact with the queues as we did with the customer demo universe, but now that there's data that is here that maps to those services, we can see that data and it comes available on the screen. Switching back over again to the customer demo side, filters out all the data. The queues stay the same. You're still operating on the I want to see alarms that are greater than 10 hours old that map to the services that apply to the customer demo. Those are filtered out here. If I take a look at the same thing for the demo universe, so I may have a different operator that has access to a different set of universes, but they're still interested in knowing, do I have any alarms that are greater than 10 hours old? Then I can see that here, and that is automatically reflected. So this allows me to, as a tools administrator, to create one set of queues and use the universe to filter the data that is then appropriate for the different teams or users that are interacting with this system. Additionally, I can navigate through the product and take a look at performance, and is going to be filtered to the performance that is relative, the metrics that are specific to my services. And I can also change the setting here. You can see I have a much smaller set of metrics available. I can also come out to capacity analytics and interact and see here what are my predictions relative to my different users, what are the capacity issues relative to my different users, and focus on those. This is a way to narrow and help focus your users on the things that are important to them. Navigating through the product, we can do this through inventory. Again, we can focus on the inventory for the things that are specific to those services and to the data that is within those services. Coming back up and take a look at dashboards. So dashboards, again, as we covered in the last video, if your user role is a custom role, not a default role, then universes will also play a part here. And so if I select service for the service overview, I can come in here. I can see the drop down is automatically selected to the universe that I was using when I was navigating in operational intelligence. I can see the automation Boston services and their status. So this page has been filtered by the set of vertices that are available within Boston Universe. And then I can select the customer demo, and I can see the services for customer demo and have this filtered only to the data that's available within the customer demo universe. You can apply this same concept to your custom dashboards that you build, create them as a template, and use the universe filter to filter the data that is then presented within the universe. This